Party's on Potts versus Potts. Step forward, please.
38-year-old homemaker Susan Potts is suing her ex-husband, 38-year-old gas company employee John Potts, for half of his retirement check.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 403 on the calendar in the matter of Potts versus Potts. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mrs. Potts, you were married to the defendant, according to your papers, for 14 years.
Yes.
And you have 4 children together.
Yes.
You are now divorced.
Yes.
When were you divorced?
Middle of August, the divorce became final.
And according to your complaint, your husband received sometime after the divorce.
After the divorce was filed.
After the divorce was filed,
Right.
a check from his retirement fund, which
Yes.
was community property. And this check from his retirement was $11,600 and some odd dollars. He was served with an order, according to you, not to dispose of those funds, and he says he spent it. Right?
Yes, I spent it.
Don't you think she's entitled to half of that?
No.
It's not an answer. Why?
Just the circumstances leading up to it, and when we lost our home, I was left high and dry with absolutely nothing.
When did you lose your home?
I turned the keys over December 13th, 96.
Did you live together after 1996?
No.
No, ma'am.
Well, what did the house have to do with your retirement?
Well, I was homeless. I was left with nothing. I don't have any family out here. I was left with absolutely nothing. That was a way for me to live. You know, I was hungry. I was cold. What led up to this is her obsession with money, and that's what ruined our relationship, our marriage.
Well, how'd you lose your house?
Couldn't pay the bills.
He lost his job.
I lost my job. She lost faith, and things got
Just a second. You lost your job. You had 4 children.
Yes.
Had you always stayed home with the children?
Just the last year and a half or 2 that we lived together. Before that, I worked.
And what kind of job did you have?
I worked for a local utility company as a welder.
Why did you lose the job? Come on. Why'd you lose the job for?
I lost it over drugs.
So you lost the job over drugs, and she doesn't have an obsession for money. She had an obsession with living with somebody who was having a problem with drugs.
No.
No, I had an obsession with feeding my 4 children.
Okay. When did you receive this money? What date?
Somewhere around the 1st or middle of March of 97.
So 5 months later, you got this money.
Well, it took that long because she put stops on it, and she did this. She didn't file for the divorce until the middle of February, the end of February 1st of
7th.
March. And I thought I did not take it seriously.
Didn't take what seriously?
Her filing for divorce.
Having a girlfriend should have made it take it a little bit more
Well,
seriously.
look, Mr. Potts, so far I've heard a lot of fast dancing. And I haven't heard a legal reason why she, as your partner for 14 years, who has your 4 children, and if you were cold and hungry and starving and homeless and all of those other things, I assume that you weren't taking care of yourself, and I also assume that you weren't taking care of your children. Is that right?
I made sure my children were being taken care of.
That's not my question. I didn't say your children were being taken care of. I said you weren't taking care of your children.
No, I was not. I was unable to.
You're never unable to take care of your children. You have to stop using drugs and get a job, collect cans, do whatever you have to do, go to work at a fast food place so that you make enough money so that you can help take care of 4 children that you brought into the world. Certainly you're not going to be able to totally support them.
I did that for 12 and a half years until I'm not the only one that had a drug problem at the time.
Okay.
And drugs ruined our life.
But you left without the children.
I didn't leave. She left.
I had to take the kids someplace, so we went to my parents' house. So
She
the
got
children had a
violent.
place
I
to
had to
sleep.
ask her to leave because she got violent.
Okay. Were you home when you asked her to leave?
Yes, we were in our home.
So she packed up and she left with the children.
After I got out of jail, he had me thrown in jail for spousal
I
abuse.
did not have her thrown in jail.
But yes, I took my children with me.
Where was he when you took the children?
I believe he was in the home somewhere. He was in the process of moving, so...
Where were you moving to?
I had nowhere to go, ma'am.
Storage unit, basically.
Yes.
packing up our stuff to put it in storage because we had to get out of the house.
Where did you go to live?
I lived in motels for about 2 weeks, and then a friend of mine asked me, his mother asked if I needed a place, and I said yes, and she said that I could stay in one of the rooms there and work for room and board.
You working now?
No, ma'am, I am currently unemployed.
How do you support yourself?
Cans and bottles and things like that.
where
I
are you
work
living?
sporadically when I can find a job, but with the divorce and
Where are you living?
I live in a camper in a driveway, in a friend of my friend's driveway.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I didn't want.
Susan Potts claims her ex-husband, John Potts, owes her for half of his retirement check.
Did you ever go to the Bank of America with him in March of 1997 when he handed you a check for $6,500?
Yes, ma'am. I went to the bank. He didn't hand me the check. He handed over a personal check for $6,400 to the bank manager. He had called me and said, let's go to the bank and cash a check because I had a checking account. He did not.
You mean the check for $11,600?
That was my impression that that's what the check was for. When we were sitting at the bank manager's desk, he pulls out this personal check, written on the personal check from this friend of his that he was able to use to cash the $11,000 check. It was written that he had received $5,000 cash. So this was the remainder of it. He had sent him a personal check. So we sat down at the manager's and we're going to have John added to my checking account so we could cash this check. When the bank manager entered his Social Security number into their computer, it came back that he owed another bank over $2,000, and they wouldn't touch that check.
That was a bank error, and that has been cleared up.
You write in your answer, I had a check for $6,500 to cash, and I was going to give her her portion.
Exactly.
While sitting at the bank manager's desk, she grabbed the check and tore it up.
Yes, ma'am, she did.
That's not true.
Well, but there was more of a reason for that. When you were sitting at the bank manager's office, they came back and said that you would owed another bank $2,000. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
I don't remember.
Well.
And I was so furious that when the bank manager said that, and when I saw that it was a personal check, and he'd already spent $5,000, I grabbed the check up off of the desk of the bank managers, and I walked out of the bank, leaving him there to walk home. And took the check with me and called the gentleman who had written John the check to see if maybe he would help me.
All right. Let me see a copy of your divorce judgment. Ms. Potts, this says, the petitioner declares, the petitioner, that's you, that there is no community property or quasi-community property or debts to be disposed of by this court.
Mm-hmm. Because at the time there wasn't any. It was all gone. This was just in August of this year.
Oh, I understand that, but there was still community property. Why didn't you go back to the Superior Court and indicate that if you, in fact, had this outstanding amount of money, that there was an outstanding amount of money that was owed to you?
But I had a paralegal help me with this. I was trying to do it myself, but at the very end, I kept getting it kicked back from the court because the wording was wrong. And she informed me that my best course of action would be to take him to civil court once the divorce became final, or I would have to begin the divorce proceedings over again. And I didn't want to do that because he would step in and cause a problem at that time. When the divorce was going through, he was fine with it. And I didn't want him to throw in any curveballs to stop the divorce from going on.
Your Honor, I didn't want the divorce. I still don't want the divorce. I mean, it's too late now, but this whole thing is ruined.
A girlfriend has a way of ruining a marriage.
Well, girlfriend may have a way of ruining the marriage.
She lied and stole from us, and my God.
My God. Listen, you went through a divorce in the Superior Court. The Superior Court of this jurisdiction took an awful lot of time in going through your papers and everything else and maintained this case on the calendar for 2 years. According to your sworn depositions, there was no community property. Let me see a copy of the check for $11,600.
I don't have a copy of the check.
Yeah. Ms. Potts, I'm not satisfied that you sustained your burden, that you are entitled to half of this money. This case is dismissed. That's all.
All right, is that excused? You may step out.
Very hard to see that he wouldn't do anything to help me or his children. $11,000 and poof, it's all gone, and he gave me $100 for school clothes, and that was it.
Emotionally, I've been unable to keep a job. Things are getting better, and I hope that in the future I'll be able to take care of business.
And now the next case.
All parties on Poe versus White. Step forward, please.
66-year-old William Poe claims the daughter of his former lover, 44-year-old postal worker Sharon White, owes him for several loans. Sharon says they were gifts.
Mr. Poe, I've read your complaint and I've read your answer. It appears that for many years, since 1968, according to your papers, you had a relationship with the defendant's mother.
Off and on.
And you had a very lovely relationship with the defendant, who looks like she was a baby in 1968.
Pretty young.
You are no longer involved with this lovely young lady here.
That's right.
And your complaint says that over the last several years, you had made a series of loans to the defendant for a variety of things, totaling a little excess of $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
You want the money back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start.
9/21/92, I loaned the defendant $1,500. And in April of 93, she paid me $300 on that account. I
Let me see
also
this list.
gave her, off of this account, $1,000 for therapy for her son.
So
This is a
you gave her
ledger.
a credit for $1,000
Yes, ma'am.
of what you used.
He gave me $1,500 is what the gift was. None of these are loans. These were all gifts.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
The interest rate.
William Poe says Sharon White owes him for loans made during the relationship he had with her mother.
You have added on here interest, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever discuss with her interest?
At the original time when I took and gave her the $1,500, I told her that it would have to have interest added onto it because it was coming from a line of credit
You never did.
where I took the money out of the line of credit.
How
to pay
old are
her.
you?
I object.
How old are you?
44.
You're 44. You made certain payments to him
Correct.
because I see he has marked paid, whole balance sheet of what you paid.
Right.
So evidently you assumed that some of these were loans.
I felt obligated to him.
No, just a minute. I understand you said that. You felt obligated. You say that in your answer.
Right.
But clearly, over the course of years from 1992 to 1998, he gave you certain amounts of money, and some of it was a lot. $10,000?
I never received $10,000, Your Honor.
Who did you make these loans to?
This lady.
Directly?
Yeah.
Or through her mother?
Directly to her. I have a letter here dated 1996 when she requests to know what the balance is on the account.
Okay.
I also have a letter that I responded to that.
Okay. You sent him this letter in November of 1996 asking to know what your balance was.
He claimed that I owed him a lot of money, and I didn't understand what it was I owed him.
No. It says, you start off by saying, Dear Bill, thank you so much for all the help you have been to me since I have known you. I really appreciate it.
That's true.
I really don't know what the balance is on my debt to you. That's what you say.
Right.
All right. So clearly, you believed in 1996 that there was a debt. That's the word that you used, debt.
He kept telling me that I owed him all this money, and I wasn't clear on what it was that I owed
Now
him.
let me see what you wrote back.
That's
you weren't
why.
clear. Okay, so in response to this, he wrote you and he said, it's been a long time since you've made any payments to me, and you still owe me $1,018.48, which I would appreciate your paying me back. Did you pay him anything back?
I paid him some money. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe
Since
$300.
1997.
Yes.
Since you got this letter from him.
I believe I did pay him some money.
Your Honor, I have 3 letters that accompanied the next 3 payments in there. The first one of which was a $25.48 payment, which was the odd cents in my letter.
Then you have a letter here, Miss White, that says, Dearest Bill, you're absolutely correct. You've been more than fair and patient and extremely generous. I will pay you. And it goes on.
Right, because I felt obligated to him.
Okay.
I did. He was always extremely generous to me. He was like a father figure to me. And I always felt, you know, that he was more than generous to me. that I do agree.
So
May
why
I
haven't
say
you paid?
something?
What?
Mr. Poe was always extremely generous. After we broke up for 3 years, he gave every one of my grandchildren something for Christmas. And not just simplistic gifts, very expensive gifts. And my daughter was never under the understanding that she was to repay him everything. Now he wants to be repaid. Now, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why all of a sudden he wants to be repaid.
Your daughter is 44 years old.
That's correct.
When she was 43 years old, she wrote him a letter. She said, I have a debt to you. You've been patient in my repaying it. She's an adult.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
So you seem to acknowledge this debt, despite what you say now, Miss White. You seem to acknowledge that you owe him money.
He's always given me money over the years.
You acknowledge it as a debt, madam. There's a difference in saying he's given you gifts. You acknowledge in writing, your writing, that you owe him money. And the
Because I felt obligated to him, and that's
good.
the truth.
So if you felt obligated, you have to pay him. Now, how much did you pay him in with these 3 notes?
It's the next 3 items on the ledger sheet that I gave you there. There was $25.48 and $50, if I recall right, and then $100. Here is my letter of August the 1st of '98, where I sent my last request for the payment, which left the sum that was due at that time, plus the interest.
So that the remaining balance is $843. Is that right?
At that time, that was the balance minus any interest.
The interest rate will be at 19.80. Why?
Took it off of
Which is what
bank
it
statement.
would cost me at Bank of America.
No, he certainly never said
He
that.
never ever.
Mr. Poe,
I'm more than happy
That's
to take whatever
usury.
interest you say I can have.
I'm not prepared to say you can have any interest because I'm not sure that you took, that when you discussed this money with her, when you gave it to her, that you discussed interest.
At the beginning, we discussed it.
We did not.
At this point in time, when that letter went out, there was no discussion of the interest. There was just my statement that, hey, I'm going to charge interest from this point on.
Well, you can't do that unilaterally, sir. Contract cannot be made by one person.
May I object?
About what?
He never said anything about the interest, and had it been, if it wasn't for my mother and him breaking up, I would not, they would never ever come to me to ask for this money back.
You
And
may
that's the
be,
truth.
Miss White, you may be absolutely correct. The fact that he might have forgiven it, were they still together, does not diminish the fact that he says it was a debt. You acknowledge in writing that it was a debt. You acknowledge in writing and by payment, by making payments, that it was a debt. My only issue with him is he cannot unilaterally modify that agreement by now charging you 20% interest like he was a very expensive credit card, which he's not. So this $843 is without interest.
That's right.
Okay. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $843. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Yes, this is case number 492 on the calendar in the matter of Smoot versus Andres Rentalin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Andreas is the apartment manager of an apartment complex where your girlfriend lives. She is a tenant. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you also live there, even though you're not on the lease.
Yes, I've been living there for over a year and a half now, Your Honor.
But you're not on the lease?
No.
According to your complaint, Mr. Andreas was having your car towed by the defendant. And you came home to find your car up being loaded onto a flatbed truck or a car that you were working on. It wasn't your car. And an altercation took place, and as a result of that altercation, you were arrested. You claim you were falsely arrested. So you are suing both defendants for having you falsely arrested. Is that what this case is about?
As well as the loss of the car, Your Honor. That's correct.
And ultimately, this car was, in fact, towed and was sold.
That's correct.
How long had this car been parked at the apartment complex?
For 2 days, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Andreas?
No, that's not correct. It was parked there on 2 different occasions.
When for the first time was it parked there?
It was the beginning of the new year.
And how long was it there then?
I would say at least 3 days. I almost had it towed before.
Now, why did you almost have it towed the first time, sir?
Because I had informed Mr. Smoot that It was tenant parking only.
When did you first inform him of that?
Before the new year, he had a truck parked there, and I asked that it be removed. It was unregistered.
Okay. Whose truck was that, sir?
I had borrowed a truck, okay, because I'm an auto mechanic by trade, and sometimes I have different vehicles when I come home from work. I parked probably 5 or 6 different vehicles there while Jeff was the manager. But
there came a time when there was a problem, Mr. Smoot.
Yeah, there was a problem. And I don't understand it, why there was a problem, because of the fact that, first of all, I brought a witness with me, Norma, which is the tenant that resides in number 18, that gave me permission to use her unoccupied stall. I also have a letter here from the property owner, and I can let her read the letter. The letter was
Just a minute. Did you ever see a copy of this letter?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Not to mention the fact that he was also terminated as the manager for not getting along with the other tenants in the building. I also have a letter of the change.
Has nothing to do with this.
That's not correct, Your Honor.
What do you mean, what's not correct?
I called the owner after the incident, and I asked, did he give permission? And he said, no, he didn't. He had instructed the tenant in number 20 to deal with me on the vehicle.
Whatever.
That's a lie.
I mean, I'm not taking this letter as gospel, because it is just a letter. His letter is not sworn deposition. Just curious as to what he said. All right, but Mr. Smoot, you were told by the apartment manager that he didn't want these cars that you were fixing back and forth on the property. That would be a fair statement?
No, that would not be a fair statement, Your Honor.
Well, let me ask you this question. Are you a tenant in that building?
Well, I live there.
No. You're not on the lease. You're not on anybody's lease.
I'm not on the lease. That is correct, Your Honor.
So you are not a tenant.
No.
Is there a sign on the property that says parking for tenants only?
Not that I'm aware of, Your
Yes.
I have a photograph that
Let me see it.
that shows the sign right by the tenant's, his girlfriend's parking space.
Of course, there would be a sign that say tenants parking only. Anyway, there was a problem, and he decided to have your car towed. What happened when you came home and found your car being towed, Mr. Smoot? It wasn't your car, by the way. It was a car that you were fixing.
Yes, the car was operable. The only reason that the vehicle was parked inside of the stall is because the vehicle was not legal to have it on the street. And so I asked Mrs. Norma Wilt, my witness, if it was okay to park the vehicle there until I had a time to get the vehicle taken out and take it to the shop so that I can perform the services
So
on it.
you were, just a second, so you were really using this property as part of your business?
No.
Sure you were.
If I park a
No,
vehicle?
you were. You were using this as part of your business. This was not your car. You were, in fact, storing it for business purposes until you could work on it. This was not your personal car for your personal use. It was a business car, and it shouldn't have been there. I don't care whose permission you have. It should not have been there. What happens, for instance, if this vehicle was dangerous for some reason and exploded? Let's say somebody was injured as a result of something that happened because of that car. Who do you think would be responsible? Who would be responsible, Mr. Smoot?
I would probably say the property owner.
That is exactly right.
But we had permission. I had permission from the
No,
property.
you did not. No. I don't believe that you had permission from the property
Yes.
owner, sir. I have no evidence that you had permission from the property
permission.
owner. The property owner's not here.
No, but Miss Dolores Harris is.
No, Miss
As well
Dolores
as-
Harris is a tenant. She is not the property owner. And if something happened as a result of that car being there, she would not be responsible. The owner of the building would be responsible because they permitted that vehicle to be there. If that vehicle spewed oil all over the place and that oil caught fire somehow and there was damage or somebody was injured, it is the owner of the premises that would be responsible, not this lady who gave you permission to park the car there. She had no right to give you permission to engage in a business in her parking space. In any event, I'm telling you, just in case you think you're 100% right, you're not.
Smoot claims Jeff Andrews and John Rintalin had him falsely arrested. John says David tried to run him over in a car.
Now let's get back to, you come home and you find your car being towed. What happened?
I came through the fence and I said, Jeff, what are you doing? I said, you know how I make a living? I said, I make a living on working on cars. And I said, this vehicle doesn't even belong to me. I said, why are you going to, you know, tow the vehicle? I said, I can't afford to pay for this guy's vehicle and pay for it to get it out of impound and stuff like that. And he said, I told you that you had until the end of the day to get it out of here. And I said, but it's not the end of the day. It's only 1:30 or so. That's why I came home from lunch to get the vehicle, to take it off so that it wasn't going to create a problem. And he said, I don't care. He goes, I'm towing it away anyways. And so I proceeded to jump in the car. The tow truck driver was probably about 15 yards away, 20 yards away from the car. And what happened is that he had jumped...
No, just a second. You're going to get a chance to tell me your version of the events.
He had jumped in the tow truck, and I had gotten in the car. And so the tow truck is kind of like at an angle, and I'm trying to back out, and then he just gets real close to the back of the vehicle, trying to like block me in. And then Jeff comes around and starts like punching through the window, trying to get me out of the car. And he's like hitting me on the side of my head and stuff like that while the car is running. I had the car running, and it wasn't really running that good, and it's a stick shift. I had the thing in reverse, and he's like trying to pull me out of the car, and this thing is idling.
Just a second, please. You're going to have an opportunity. Don't interrupt again.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's like idling, and he's like trying to pull me out of the car, and my foot like lunged off of the clutch while it was in reverse, and it just kind of like jumped back. And then all of a sudden, I just hear like a screaming noise from his wife, and they're saying, do you have any insurance? Do you have any insurance? Call the police. Call the police. We just, he tried to run us over. He tried to run us over. And they were trying to say that his leg was hurt. And when the police got there, they came and they took a little tiny red little irritation mark or something on a picture, a photo, and they asked him if he wanted to go to the hospital. He said no. At the same time while this was happening, just prior to that, I said, I'm going to go call the police myself. And so as I attempted to go down the hallway at my apartment, the police were right there, and they arrested me. And I said, I'm the one you're looking for, because I wanted to call the police, but they were there, and they turned me around and they arrested me for.
You got it?
They
got
said,
all this, Bert?
I got all that.
They said assault with a deadly weapon. So these guys, Your Honor, I know the guy. You know, I never had nothing against him, but he's a white supremacist. You know, he's got tattoos all over him. You know, and
don't go there. Don't listen to me.
I'm just saying.
Don't go there.
I went to jail. They lied. I had a felony. I was looking at 1 year. I was looking at 1 year in jail. Okay, I missed about 17 days on a jury trial. Okay, I was finally found not guilty. Okay, and I missed all time.
But you went to trial. Is that correct? At the end of the people's case, was the case dismissed, or did you put on a case? Did you testify yourself?
I testified myself.
Then you presented a case. So the case was not dismissed after the people's case. Is that right?
I was found not guilty.
You're not following my question because you're just resisting it? There are two parts of a case. Don't you watch television?
Okay.
The district attorney presents their case.
Right.
And at the end of that case, the defendant, if the defendant wishes, presents their case.
Yes.
At the end of the people's case, the judge finds that there is insufficient evidence to support any kind of a verdict. The judge will direct the verdict for the defendant and dismiss the case. If there is sufficient evidence to go forward, then the judge hears the defendant's case. And then after that entire case, the judge has to make a decision beyond a reasonable doubt whether the allegations are true. Just because you were found not guilty doesn't mean you're not guilty. Just doesn't mean that they were not satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that you were guilty. Do you understand the difference?
I understand.
All right. Now you've told your story. By the way, who got nicked with the car?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. So then I'm going to start with you, sir. You want to tell me you're called there to tow the truck?
We were called by Mr. Andrews to tow a vehicle, and I had my truck right up to the back of the vehicle that I was going to tow away. And that's when this gentleman over here jumped over the fence and came running up to the car, screaming and yelling, "What are you doing taking my car? You ain't taking it?" And yes, he is. You ain't. It went on like this for a while. This was the guy that signed the paperwork that I had, the permission that he wants me to take this off the property, this paper here. And I said, well, am I taking it? He goes, yes, take it. Okay. So I went to hook it up underneath the vehicle. I reached down, I go into the car to hook it up, and all of a sudden this car starts up and comes back on me, and I'm under the car hooking it up. And so I jumped up out of the way, and as I come up out of the way, this gentleman here running around the front of the car and pulled him off from the driver's seat because he was running. And then his wife screamed, "Oh my God, he ran over the tow truck driver."
Okay. Now, before you hook up the car, did you see Mr. Andreas go over to the plaintiff at all? Was there any altercation in the car at all?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Andrews was standing to the rear of the car to my right. And they're arguing about taking the car, not taking the car.
And how far away were they from each other when they were arguing?
The car is between them.
Okay, the car was between them at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And he was not in the car at that point?
Not even.
So he got in the car as you went to hook it up?
I don't know when he got in the car, Your Honor. I was under the car, then I hear the car start up. I didn't see him get in the car. So he was still standing up. I went under the car, then he jumped in the car, I assume, started it up, proceeded to back up on me. I jumped out of the way, and that's when he ran around.
So you saw him run around at that point?
As I was coming back up from behind the car, yes, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'd like to see a copy of the police report.
I have that. I brought
I'd
that
like
for
to
you
see
today.
it, please. The police report and the police at the scene noted injuries to the defendant, Mr. Rintalin, minor injuries, but injuries to the leg consistent with being hit by the car that you were driving. The police officer examined your entire head area where you had claimed that you were repeatedly punched.
Just hit on the side.
No, you said repeatedly punched is what you said. The police officer who examined you found absolutely no evidence of any bruises, marks, or anything else, and there were no visible injuries anywhere. So, Mr. Smoot, let me tell you what I believe happened, sir. I believe that perhaps Mr. Andreas acted precipitously. He had told you before not to park your business cars there. You did. And maybe he just decided he had had enough, whatever it is. He didn't give you till the end of the day. You came home and you were furious.
That's not true.
I don't care what you say, sir. Why don't you listen to me now?
Okay.
I'm speaking, sir.
Okay.
You came, you saw the car being towed. You were furious that it was being towed. I do not believe that Mr. Andreas punched you at any time other than trying to get you out of the car after you had hit this gentleman here with the car.
That's not true. Okay.
So, you don't like my ruling? There is no appeal. The district attorney believed that you, in fact, acted improperly when you got into that car and attempted to move it when somebody was attempting to do their job and hook it up to be towed. You have an alternative, Mr. Smoot, and your alternative was they tow the car to a lot at that time. If you feel as if you have been wronged, you deal with it. But what you did was you started a confrontation, and as a result of that confrontation, he could have been seriously injured because you were hot and you were not looking where he was when you got into that car.
That's not true, Your Honor. That's not true.
Yes, it is, sir.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is, sir.
That's not
Listen
true.
to me. Put your hand down.
That's not true.
I don't care what you say, sir. I'm telling you it's true. You weren't concerned about anybody's safety at that point but the car.
I work on cars, and I know what a vehicle would do when you put a vehicle in reverse and then actually try running over a person.
Then what were you doing in the car, sir?
Because I was moving.
No. What were you doing in the car?
I was going to move the car. The tow truck was not in position to have the vehicle.
Then how did he get hit?
He wasn't.
He wasn't hit.
Oh, yes, he was.
I have.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was trying to make money out of this deal. Okay.
No, sir. Let me ask you this question. Mr. Smoot, hey, quiet. Did they sue you?
Did who sue me? These guys?
Pay attention to my question.
Okay.
Did he sue you?
No, but...
Just a second.
No, he did not.
Well, if he did not sue you, sir, then he was not trying to make money off this situation.
Because he found out that he found out that there wasn't any insurance on that unregistered vehicle. That was the first thing that came out of his mouth.
Just a second. He could sue you.
That's true.
You work.
Right.
He doesn't have to sue the person whose vehicle it was. He could sue you. So, if he didn't sue you, then he's not the one trying to make money off of this situation. You are.
I'm trying to recoup my bail money from these guys lying to the police.
It's not going to happen, Mr. Smoot.
Okay.
You acted improperly.
I don't
When
believe-
you came there and saw your car in a situation where it was being towed, you could have done several things. You could have called 911 and called the police and say, please respond immediately, someone is stealing my car.
And I tried, but they had already called the police and they lied.
No, Mr. Smoot, I'm
Your Honor.
10, hey, please. I'm 10 steps ahead of you, sir. Before you jumped over the fence and got in the car, you did not attempt to call the police. I'm telling you, before this incident started to escalate, when you saw your car being towed, you get on the phone and you call the police and you say, somebody is stealing my car. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You were hot. You were hot. There's no question you were hot, and maybe you had a right to be hot. But you precipitated the altercation over a car where somebody could have gotten seriously hurt. And for that, sir, you do not get rewarded. The case is dismissed.
Parties are this is case number 535 on the calendar in the matter of Meshikoff versus Leader. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Meshikoff, you retained the services of the defendant, who is a private investigator, to do some work for you. It is your claim that he did not perform the services that you required and that you had paid him a retainer. You want your retainer returned.
That's correct.
Okay. So when did you retain his services?
The exact date I can't remember. It was over a year ago, though.
Give me a month.
December.
Of 2000?
Yes.
And what did you retain his services for?
2 years before that, I had met a woman who was an attorney, a New York, California barrister in Canada. I hadn't seen her very long, and it sounds incredible, but she ended up putting my semen into her, having 3 kids, triplets, by way of a fertility-inducing drug, and ended up meeting my aunt, taking over a will worth $5.5 million, falsely filed a spousal property petition, and then changed the will and the trust to benefit herself and others, nobody in the family. And I wanted this gentleman to find her to see, I wanted to know if we could follow the cash and see where any of it was.
You met a woman, and it is your claim that she had herself artificially inseminated with your sperm.
Right.
Listen, I usually don't go there.
No.
How did she get it?
It's always flush. It was basically, it was in a garbage can, and it was in the woman was 36, never been married. I know it sounds.
What you're saying is she artificially inseminated herself and had triplets.
Yeah, by going away.
That's some hit. Was there ever a paternity proceeding, sir, with regard to these triplets?
Yes, but I was advised by counsel because of the amount. I'm a single father of 3 kids myself.
Just a second.
Let
me ask the
okay.
questions. There was a paternity proceeding.
No.
She never filed a paternity proceeding.
She did.
Did you appear in that proceeding?
No.
Was there a default?
I imagine so. I'm paying $1,000 a month and $60,000 up front.
Yes, then I would say to you that you should have appeared.
Not the advice of counsel at that time was the amount was small enough that if I went in, it would possibly be made larger.
Well, so I assume, Mr. Meshikoff, that you did not have any question as to whether these triplets were yours.
A certain amount of question, but not enough to warrant. No, not
Sounds
enough
to me like you are an intelligent man, sir. If you had a question that the triplets were yours, you would have appeared in the action, had a DNA test, which would have established, without question, whether you had a fiscal responsibility. And it sounds to me, based upon at least the story that you're giving me, that I would have gone, if I believe your story, which I don't, Mr. Meshikoff, because you are an intelligent man, and if you went to any lawyer worth their salt, they would have said, with that bull story, I would go in and have a DNA test. You can't be any more of a loser than if you just don't appear. So no lawyer is going to tell you with that kind of story that you just gave me, don't show up.
It wasn't don't show up. It was that if I went in, the amount would probably be higher. If I had a good idea that this was the woman, that they were my children, not to go in because the amount that they would ask could be considerably more than what I was having to pay now.
At that point, you weren't paying anything because no court makes a support order before paternity is declared.
Well, the amount that I was supposed to be paying.
Not supposed to. Mr. Meshikoff,
Yeah.
don't try to outsmart me in an area of my expertise, sir. Okay?
It was the
I mean,
back
if you
payment-
think that I'm just here because I'm a pretty face, you're making a big mistake, Mr. Meshikoff. I mean, I happen to have a pretty face. Right.
Yes, you do.
But there is something behind the face, sir. So at the time that you were served with the paternity proceeding, there was no support order. So that when you go to court, you are not only declared the father or non-father, depending upon what the DNA test shows, and then the court will entertain an application for support. So you had virtually nothing to lose and everything to gain by going in there and giving the judge your flushed story. All right, let's move on. So you, at some point, there's some convoluted thing with this woman who then met an aunt and changed the will and became an executor. You hired him to do what?
I hired her because I want him to follow the money. She was not made the executor, though. There was somebody else who was the executor.
And who died?
My aunt.
Your aunt have children?
No.
Who was her closest relative?
It follows down to her husband through intestate succession to my father and then to me.
Did she have a husband?
Dead about a year before.
So then it goes to your father. Your father alive?
Yes. Except that my father's in New York and he's 84, so I have power of attorney and to do it for him.
All right. So you were trying to locate her?
No, I knew where she was. I wanted to find out where the money went.
Why?
My aunt's money.
Yeah, but she was declared entitled to that money through a will.
No, because I guess she's not allowed to. She's not allowed as the attorney making the will to inherit herself unless it's viewed by a judge or another outside attorney.
Right.
So what she did was she made these triplets were part of the inheritance, and at the time a suspicious amount of loans were drawn against the property that I assume went back as cash to her. So I tried to hire this gentleman to see if he could follow the money and see where she had it.
And is that what he explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor, to a certain degree, but if I may. I was retained by this gentleman on February the 2nd of 2000, not December of 2000.
Okay.
He advised me that he had impregnated a woman who ultimately had triplets. He was tired of paying child support and asked me to locate any assets because if he could show that she was not destitute, he wouldn't have to pay the amount of money that he was paying. We completed that assignment and a report was forwarded to him March of the same year.
Can I see that report, please? What was your retainer?
$1,500, Your Honor, prepaid.
I don't believe I've seen that report, Your Honor.
Would you show this, please, to the plaintiff?
Thank you. So, I've never seen this report, Your Honor, and I don't see any fax confirmation either. This is as good as your invoice.
Okay. So you say that you gave him that report a month later.
It was mailed.
Certified?
Shh, don't, Mr. Meshikoff, do not speak.
Sorry, I apologize, Your Honor.
Matthew Meshikoff says he hired P.I. Howard Leader to investigate a woman he impregnated. Matthew claims Howard was the wrong man for the job.
Oh, now, this doesn't require a great deal of work, sir. It requires like 10 minutes. You get on a computer and you figure this out. So what else did you do?
That's not entirely true, Your Honor, because what that also included
was a trash run.
Yes.
Trash run is when you go through somebody's garbage.
That is correct.
Okay. Was that the last communication you had with him?
Not until November 16th, 2001.
Yes.
At which time he called me on the telephone and asked me to locate members of his family, which I found somewhat strange, and I asked why. He went on to explain to me that an aunt had left a lot of money to other members of his family, and he had not gotten what he thought was his fair share.
All right, so the initial retainer he gave you was $1,500, is that right?
That is correct.
And he did communicate with you again in November of 2001 and asked you to perform additional service.
Yes, ma'am, which I did.
Did you furnish any sort of information as a result of that search?
As a matter of fact, I provided copies via fax of the people that I located.
May I see it, please?
The top page, Your Honor, is the page that he faxed to me. The rest of the documentation is information that I obtained.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who he located is already on the top sheet that I faxed to him. This guy not only couldn't find these people, but he couldn't find his way home.
May I object to that comment, Your Honor?
Just to say, of course. Are your children's names?
Those are the triplets, yes.
Okay, now that's what I thought. They are on this list that you sent. Is that
Yes,
right?
uh-huh.
And you indicate relationship friend.
This list came out of the will, Your Honor.
But it says friend.
I
Is
realized
that right?
that was another... These people, when they made this list...
I don't care what... It says
Okay.
friend.
Yes.
And how old are the triplets now?
They would be about 1 year old at this point.
All right. And each of the triplets got $25,000.
Yes.
And there are other Meshikoffs who got some money. There's Meshikoff. She got some money.
Yeah, 5,000.
And
that was all the shut. Okay, he sold out the family for $50,000.
Just a second. And you got $5,000.
Which I wouldn't accept. That was the shut-up money.
Just a second.
Okay, I'll shut up.
What's the deceased's name?
Meshikoff. A famous actress, by the way.
Just a second, Mr. Meshikoff. You weren't happy with your 5 and your 3 children each got 25.
No, not my 3 children. 3 children.
No,
my
your
3 children got nothing.
No, your 3 children. These
But
are your
I
3
would
children.
give every penny of this money to a charity. I don't care about the money at all.
Just a second, listen to
Okay.
me. Your 3 children, you have legally been declared
Right,
the
I
father
understand.
of these triplets. So these are your 3 children. They each got $25,000.
Correct.
Which is 5 times as much as your aunt thought of you.
No, because at the time that she made this, she was in a coma.
I'm not
If
going there. My question to you, Mr. Meshikoff, is very, very simple, sir. Were you dissatisfied with his service in March of 2000?
This guy did nothing.
Speak.
Yes, I'm very dissatisfied with the service.
You're not listening to me, Mr. Meshikoff.
Okay.
Were you dissatisfied with his service in March of 2000?
Yes.
So then what'd you call him again for, to do more work for you
I
in
didn't call
November?
him to give him, that was a lie. I never called, I called him, I have evidence, I called him every time to see what he was doing on this. And he either had a cold, he was on the phone, or was busy.
Oh, well, you faxed him this thing.
But that was way later. There was a faxed
November
in,
16th.
Yeah, right.
I asked you, what happened in 2 years, Mr. Meshikoff?
Because I kept asking him to do something on the other, and when he finally didn't do anything on the other, he says, well, I'm going to check here, I'm going to check there. I never got a report for the garbage. He said, I checked the garbage, there were only diapers in it. And as far as I know, you have to put something... Who is this person? He's the other private investigator I hired who gave me a real report.
Step up here, sir. Over there. Let me take a look at his report.
For 1/4 of the price.
No, that's your problem.
In about 3 weeks, actually.
That's your problem. You shouldn't have called him again 2 years later to do anything
else. I
else.
was trying to contact him all through this time to do some work. He failed to do any of the work. How long does it take to stand out and get garbage? I had no idea. He just thought I'd go away, and I didn't go away.
What was the whole result of all this work that you did, Mr. Meshikoff?
Was that I was able to obtain the medical records, and through the medical records, I was able to find out that on the exact date that they signed the will worth $2.7 million, this woman was in a coma at UCLA Hospital.
So did you, in fact, proceed to probate court armed with this information?
No.
Why?
Because the law firm I hired ended up putting in 3 continuances to probate, to petition for the woman who's his executor to be made not the executor, and they missed that date, never showing up in court. Bottom line is, by the time we went back to a judge after I replaced him and went to another attorney, the judge wouldn't hear it anymore. I do have a malpractice suit against, and at this point, I'm also want to do a elder abuse suit against the people who stepped in on
What kind of
my
work
end.
do you do?
Pardon me?
What kind of work do you do?
I was a film director.
What do you do now?
I'm a sculptor.
How do you earn a living?
As a sculptor.
You sell your work?
Yeah, it's great. As a matter of fact, I
I'm
brought
not interested. I'm not interested.
Oh, it's real. You'll say it's beautiful if you see it.
Mr. Meshikoff,
Yeah.
I'm in charge of my courtroom. Okay. Mr. Meshikoff, are you current in your child support payments?
Yes, I am.
And that is all from your sculpturing business?
No, that's from when I raised my children. My wife left 3 years ago, and I decided to raise my children by myself. I quit my job as a film director, took what money I had, and have stayed home and raised the kids since then. That's when I went back to being a sculptor. So we live on about 30% of what we used to live on. I even brought you their report card. They're all their students.
I'm not interested in seeing their report card. They live with you?
Yes, they do.
How old are they?
Now they're 8, 11, and 13. I've had them since they were 3, 5, and 7.
And you have enough money to take care of them as a result of this sculpting work that you do?
No, as a result of being a director.
So you have enough in investments to take care of them?
Well, we don't do much. We fly in the back of the plane, and we don't take limousines to the bathroom anymore, and we're fine. You know, we're very happy. We're doing great.
Do you believe, Mr. Leader, that you did $1,500 worth of work with regard to the initial investigation?
That is the customary charge.
No, that's
yes,
not
ma'am.
that's not what I asked you.
Yes, ma'am.
And between March of 2000 and November of 2001, did he ever ask for a return of any part of the retainer of $1,500?
He did not.
Do you have any proof, Mr. Meshikoff, that you made a demand for return of any portion of that money?
Yes. What I did was I...
No. Can I see it, please?
Could it be in the... Well, it was this part here. I mean, can you please take this letter? Thank you. Here. There you go.
What's your last name, sir?
Schmidt.
You are a licensed private investigator?
Yes, ma'am.
In this state?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you been a licensed private investigator in this state?
I retired from law enforcement in November of 2001. I've been licensed since November.
Okay. Well, this is dated, sir, January 4th, 2002. So this really doesn't answer my question. I asked you, between March of 2000 and November of 2001, did you ever make a demand in writing?
Not in writing,
to
no,
the defendant? Okay.
I asked him to do the different assignment instead, because I didn't think he could do anything with that, so I asked him to redirect his efforts to the finding of the people on the will, which he couldn't do either.
Sir, can you point out in this report to me the garbage run report that Mr. Meshikoff refers to in his letter of January 4th?
The garbage run report's not in
Well,
this
I would like
record.
to see it. Mr. Meshikoff, do you have the garbage
No,
run
I didn't, because
report?
it involves, no, I thought it was too private information on the people that I didn't think it was wise to bring it in. I swear I can make it available further at another time, but...
Oh, I mean, you made quite a point in your paper, sir, that you received a detailed report from your new private investigator, and I would just like to see what a detailed report on garbage looks like. Okay. Mr. Meshikoff, first you say that you hired a lawyer who told you that despite this cockamamie story that you told me, you were advised by an attorney, I assume, who was a member in good standing of a bar association someplace, not to appear in a paternity proceeding. I don't believe that. The next thing that you did was you hired this gentleman to try to find whatever information you could about this woman. You gave him $1,500, asked him to do, in addition to other things, a trash run. If I went through somebody else's garbage, I would want a hell of a lot more than $1,500. However, you asked him to do additional work 2 years later. Now, if you were dissatisfied with his work in March of 2000, what you do is sue him then. Say, I want my money back. But 2 years later, when you've been through a lot of other machinations and ruminations, you fax him this and you say, get me the information on these people. Then, Mr. Meshikoff, you had problems with your law firm. Stop playing with me.
Okay,
You had
problems clear that up for you.
You had
Okay.
problems with a law firm. You have a lawsuit against them. You seem to have a lot of problems
with this,
with other people's money. OPM, other people's money. An aunt leaves $25,000 apiece to each of your 3 children. And you have a major problem with that because there's a lot more in that estate and you think that you should be entitled to more. And evidently you've made this a crusade. It's a crusade, sir, that is going nowhere.
I don't care about the money, Your Honor.
Then why don't you get over it and concentrate on your
Why can't we get my grandmother's furniture back for the people that are about to die?
Why don't
Would you like to see your grandmother's furniture go?
What? On your 6 children? If the money is not important to you,
yes,
and furniture should not be important to you, what should be important to you are your 6 children, because you gave up your job in order to stay home and father your 3 children. You have 3 other children who I assume you don't see or visit at all.
I don't see them at all, and I won't go see them because of that woman. As a matter of fact, if that woman was in physical reach of me, it would be a very dangerous situation.
Listen to me. I guarantee you, sir, that it is not the fault of these babies.
You're absolutely correct.
What you and their mother
You're
did.
absolutely correct.
And I guarantee you something else, sir.
Yes.
Since you have been the sole caretaker of your 3 young children, as you told me for a long time,
yes,
you at least took some sort of a hiatus in order to produce 3 other children,
yes,
or at least put yourself in a circumstance.
Yes.
It only takes a minute,
yes,
and it only takes a minute for me to say your lawsuit is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 576 on the calendar in the matter of Burnham versus Allen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Burnham, according to your complaint, the defendant, who is your former girlfriend, has some property that belongs to you from a time when you were living together. Defendant says she has no property that belongs to you, and she is counterclaiming for a loan that she made to you some time ago. When did you live together, Mr. Burnham?
Well, we lived together for about 4 years, and it ended May 9th of 2000.
What took you so long?
I love her.
Well, you love her, but if you miss this property, you're going to tell me what the property is in a minute. What took you so long to file a complaint, is my question.
Our relationship had been going up and down. When it first went down, I made arrangements to have my father go pick up belongings from her house in June of 2000.
When you moved out in May of 2000, what property did you take with you?
Well, actually, I didn't move out. I was kicked out. I was able to go in. I got a couple changes of clothes.
What do you mean you were able to go in?
She had changed the locks while I was gone.
Okay.
She told me that she would meet me back at the house. She never showed up. One of the doors was unlocked. I got a couple changes of clothes, some movies, DVD player. She came home, was very upset with me, called the police, so I left.
So then what happened in June? June, you sent your parents over.
Actually, it was May 14th. I have the paper here.
Can I see what she has? Could it have been May 14th, sir, that your parents went over?
It could very well be. I have the same letter. Yeah, May 14th, 2000. My parents went over to collect my stuff. Rebecca had a bunch of it already boxed up, and because of her erratic behavior and constantly lying, my parents had asked her to make a list of the belongings that she was packing and then to sign it so that in the future there wouldn't be any problems with her calling the police and saying I was robbing her like she's prone to do.
All right, well, what was left there, sir, after June or May 14th, 2000?
I had a ton of movies. I've got 2 bookshelves full of DVDs and VHS tapes. I have several hundred books, hardback and paperback, computer monitors.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I have a monitor. There was no monitor in any of the boxes we have.
That's
Okay,
a note my stepmom wrote on there.
Okay. Now, what took you 2 years to come to complain with regard to these books and tapes and DVDs?
Our relationship was going up and down. We got back together casually. We made arrangements for me to go. She didn't show up. In fact, she called the police and said that I was doing telephone harassment. We made another arrangement. I got a truck. She again didn't show up and called the police and said that I was threatening to murder her and was going to solicit the help of a cop.
Well, what did you want at that point, sir? Your complaint indicates you want $5,000, which you claim to be the value of your DVDs, your books, and a computer.
Correct.
Computer equipment.
Correct.
Right? Now, if you had this on-again, off-again relationship, what did you leave your computer there for?
I didn't actually leave a computer. It was just accessories, a scanner and digitizer and stuff like that.
Why did you leave it there?
I tried to get as much stuff out.
Listen to me. Because I can understand you're not boxing up books and taking them out. But if you have computer equipment, that to me, things that you need every day, and you weren't living there anymore, why wouldn't you take that out of the house?
I did not have a computer at the time, so those belongings, those computer accessories were not of paramount importance to me.
What do you mean you didn't have a computer at the time? You mean you had a whole bunch of accessories in her house,
Yes.
but never owned a computer at her house?
No, the computer was part of a theft case, and it was taken by the local police department.
I want you to explain that to me.
I was arrested for possession of stolen property. The computer was the property in question.
Okay, so you just had these things that were things that you could have used if you had a computer, but your computer you didn't have because it wasn't your computer.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Miss Allen, books. Do you have any of his books?
No, I don't have any of his books.
What happened to the books that he had in your house?
His parents came and got them. That's on that list there.
On the list, it only says paperback books. All my hardbacks are still there.
Paperback books. Where are the hardcover books?
He doesn't have any books at my house. He got all his property. He's been in my house since May of 2000. He's got stuff out of there.
Give me the titles to all the books, hardcover books, Mr. Burnham, that you claim are in her house.
I have a complete series of Dean Koontz, Stephen King. I have C.S. Lewis, Peter Straub, complete collections of several authors, Jonathan Kellerman, Faye Kellerman.
Where are they?
He has got his stuff. He has gotten everything out of my house. He has nothing in my house.
You keep saying that, Miss Allen. I'm asking you, he indicates, and it's clear from the list that you prepared, that there were no hardcover books returned to him.
Right. And he's been in my house and he's gotten several of his hardcover books. Plus,
he's gotten several. Where are the rest?
The rest are my books. The rest of the books are my books. Actually, he ordered things underneath my name and my daughter's name through book clubs and get books for free. So,
Miss Allen, let's not play games, you and I. When I said, where are his books, and you said he took everything that belongs to him. So then we get down to it, and you're claiming that there are hardcover books in the house. Listen to me, that there are hardcover books, but since they were ordered under your name and your daughter's name, that you believe they're your books. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Is that what you're saying? All right, so now at least we have it clear. It's not that they're not there, it's that you're claiming they're yours. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Stephen King.
Yes.
I want you to tell me, Miss Allen, which of Stephen King's books have you read?
I have read it, and I have read I can't think of the name right now. There's a book called Christine. There's
Not what they're called. Which ones have you read? And this may turn into a test, so make sure that I get the right answer.
I've read it.
Okay, you read it. You read one. You read one of the books. Kellerman.
I can't think of the names right now. Those books that he's talking about, I do not have them.
Which ones do you have in your house that you are claiming belong to you or your daughter? How old is your daughter?
She's 4.
She doesn't like it.
No.
How many books?
She watched the movie. I have Faye Kellerman. I have they're romance novels and a lot of different books by Daniel Steele.
The romance novels aren't mine. She can have those.
Daniel Steele books. There's
He doesn't read Danielle Steele.
I can't think of the names of the books right now.
Right?
Right.
Well, he has to have his books back. Do you understand? I don't care who ordered them through a book club. If he ordered them and you didn't pay for them.
He ordered them under my name.
You didn't pay for them, is that right?
No, but he...
Good. He wants them. You don't want him to harass you anymore, is that right?
Correct.
Then give him back what he wants. Don't be foolish. Do you understand?
Duncan Burnham says when ex-girlfriend Rebecca Allen kicked him out of the home, she kept his belongings. Rebecca says Duncan still owes her for bailing him out of jail.
What else?
Movies. I've got probably 200 VHS movies and 100 DVDs that are still at the house.
Let's hear about it.
I have a picture of the DVDs. I have them mainly. Kids' DVDs and kids' videos. I gave him DVDs and I gave him videos back.
Forget the kids' videos.
Forget
the kids' videos.
Okay, I have bought videos. I have got my own DVDs. He does not own any of those DVDs or movies anymore.
Sir, do you have any receipts for DVDs that you purchased?
I did, but she took them from me.
Well, then I can't tell. If you have 200, and she's probably got a couple that she got herself.
She's got some new ones.
Well, I am not going to go to her house and figure out what this is yours, this is mine. You get your books back so far. Now let's talk about the computer stuff.
Okay.
You stole a computer, but you had computer stuff, monitor and scanner and other stuff. You have any of that stuff?
Yes, it's mine. It's my stuff.
Good. Can I see the receipts for it?
Okay. I have a receipt for my new computer.
Not computer. Are you playing with me?
No, I'm not.
Well, then listen to me carefully.
Okay.
Stop with your own agenda. He's not saying computer. He's saying accessories for the computer.
Right.
You're talking about a monitor.
2 monitors.
2 monitors.
A 15-inch and a 17-inch.
And I don't have that. I have my own new computer system. I don't have any of that.
Where was it? Did you get rid of it?
No, he took the stuff out of my house. He
When?
took this CD writer out of my house.
Listen to me. Look at me.
And
I said monitor.
Monitor? I don't have a monitor.
Where is it?
It's gone.
Where gone is it?
Sold. It was sold.
Don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you, Judge.
It was sold when?
Last year.
Why?
Because he has not come to my house to get his stuff. He left it there.
Actually,
okay, just a second. Miss Allen, that's an answer. Don't say it's not there and start showing me a bill for a computer. You sold some of his stuff. Is that right?
It wasn't his stuff.
You sold the monitor. Don't tell me the monitor wasn't his. I'm beginning to not believe a lot of stuff that you tell me.
Okay.
The monitor wasn't yours. The monitor was his. You sold it. You sold it because he hadn't picked it up for a while. That's what you just told me. Then you told me it wasn't his. Then first you told me you didn't have it.
I have proof that he stole the computer system. I have proof that he stole it.
How much is a monitor? This is an old monitor. How much is a monitor?
15-inch monitor goes for about $90.
And the 17-inch monitor?
About $250.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me about your counterclaim because you say you loaned him $350 for bail.
Yes, I did.
Let me hear about it.
Last year, when he was in jail, he called me and said, I have a good job now. Can you help me get me out of jail? So I bailed him out for $200.
Did she lay out any money to bail you out of jail?
Yes, she did.
Did you pay it back?
No.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay it back? Show me.
I I paid her in cash for $150 of it, and I direct deposited $200 into her savings account, and I don't have receipts.
Did he direct deposit any money into your
No,
account?
he did not pay me back at all.
I actually paid her back the day. I paid her the $200 the day after. It was I was arrested at around my birthday for failure to appear. I missed a court date. I had gotten a check from my parents for $200 as a birthday gift, and I deposited that directly into her account. I gave her $75 out of my next paycheck, and then $75 2 paychecks later, 4 weeks later after that.
Look
and
at me,
it was all
Miss Allen.
cash.
Does that sound right to you?
No.
I don't believe you.
No, I didn't.
No, I don't believe you.
I
I believe that you loaned him the money,
Mhm.
and I believe that he paid you back, and I believe that you filed this counterclaim after this long period of time only because he's suing you for his property.
Well,
that's what I believe. So I'm dismissing your
Okay.
counterclaim because
Well,
I
I
believe you
didn't
were
get-
paid back. Now, as far as the other stuff is concerned, Mr. Burnham,
Yes.
the monitors were old, and maybe they were worth at this point $100 if you went to sell them.
The
And you have
17
new,
inch was
and you
brand
have new stuff now anyway. Is
I've
that
had
right?
to replace it all, yes.
All right. And you don't get any real rewards for having gone out and spent money to buy monitors for computers that you stole. Do you understand? However, Miss Allen is going to box up your books, and I'm issuing a money judgment in the amount of $100 for the stuff that she sold. Your counterclaim's dismissed. I believe you were paid. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Becca is a habitual liar.
he got all the stuff out of my house, and he just wants to now be revenge because I don't want to see him anymore.
I still love her. She means a lot to me.
He has 4 felonies.
Criminal history does not necessarily define the person.
He's a thief, and he lies.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Crowell versus Bowie. Step forward, please.
17-year-old student Vanessa Crowell is suing her friend's father, 44-year-old truck driver Donnell Bowie, for the money she paid him for a car. Vanessa says Donnell never gave her the vehicle.
Miss Crowell, the defendant is the father of your very good friend. According to your complaint, you gave him $500 and he was going to get a used car for you. Is that his business?
Yes, ma'am. That's where he worked at the time.
And he would get what kind of car for you?
Well, we agreed to $500 down on a green Cutlass Sierra that he said that he had.
And you gave him the money?
Yes.
And he never produced the car?
Mm-hmm.
He says you never gave him any money. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Who was present when you gave him the money?
His daughter, Jakarta Bowie. That's my witness.
Where did you get the money from?
I worked. And then my friend, my friend's mother also gave me $100 too. But I did have a job.
Okay, so you should have some record of taking the money out of the bank.
No, see, I don't have a bank account. I go cash the check and keep the money until I had enough to give him the $500.
Where were you keeping the money?
At home, just in a dresser.
According to you, you gave the defendant $500. You waited and waited. He did not deliver the car and refuses to return your $500.
Yes, ma'am.
And what has he said to you when you asked him for your $500 back?
He would tell me to wait till Saturday, wait till next week. He'll have the money.
Well, what happened to the car?
Okay, the first car, the Cutlass Sierra, when he said he was bringing it to me, it cut down on the side of the road because it was overheated. And then after that, he was like, that car is bad, that car is bad. And then a while later, he was like, I have a Honda Civic for you. And then he was like, no, you don't want that car, you don't want that car, so I'm just going to give you your money back. And so I continuously waited for that. And then he would catch attitudes with me like I'm the one who's wrong when I
Okay,
asked
so
for my
tell me
money
what
back.
happened, sir.
She came to my house, her and my daughter, and I've always kept 3 or 4 cars. And I had a '86 Cadillac that I wasn't driving, and my daughter had liked the car. It was a nice-looking car. My daughter had kept bugging me about the car. And finally one day they came over. She said, well, no, I don't want this car. She said the car is too big. I said, well, this is the only car I have. And I said, I know some friends of mine that sell cars. She said, well, no, somebody had supposed to be getting a car for her from somewhere. And she said, well, I'll get the car from whoever the person was that she told me about. So I didn't think about it no more. Till one day I got off from work, and I came in from work, and my daughter had said the sheriff or someone had brought a summons by my house for me to appear in court.
Why do you think she's bringing you to court?
For just of all, her and my daughter here, Jakarta, they have some type of lesbian relationship. They have a lesbian relationship, and I don't go along with it. My daughter had gone with one another. I don't know.
What that got to do with this?
This is the point where I'm here. This is the point where I'm here because the simple reason I didn't go along with this lesbian trip you and my daughter's on.
But what that got to do with a car?
What I'm asking you, sir, is...
She did not give me any money on. That's what I'm telling you.
Yes,
The bottom line, she did not give me no money.
I'd like to hear the witness. Who are you, sir?
Jaquetta Bowie, daughter of the defendant.
Now I got it. Were you present when Miss Crowell gave money to your father?
Yes, I was. It was at my house.
Tell me about it.
Well, a week before the money was exchanged, me and Vanessa was sitting down on my bed talking about wanting cars. And so I was like, well, my dad works at a car lot. So she asked me the names, and I told her it was. So she was like, well, give your dad a call for me and see if he'll make a deal for $500 if he can give me a used car.
Yes, you did.
So,
Shh, don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
So I called him, and he said he would work a deal with the $500 and that he would meet us at my house. This is where I'm at fault, because I told him not to get a receipt. I said, don't worry about it, because I trust my dad. So he came, and we talked for a second about the Cutlass Sierra that he promised her.
That I would get Saturday.
That she would get the following Saturday. And she gave him the money, two $100 bills and the rest in 20s. And when that Saturday came, no car, and we couldn't find him.
Why do you think your father would do that?
Ignorant. Ignorant.
But you had a reasonable relationship with your father up until now.
Yeah, up until after I saw that he wasn't returning her money or wasn't trying to get her car.
Ms. Cromwell, I believe you.
Thank you.
I believe that you gave him $500. I believe you, and I believe your witness.
Thank you.
And I don't believe you, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Calendar in the matter of Williams versus Aguilar.
Thank you very much.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Williams, according to your complaint, you and the defendant had sort of an off-again, on-again relationship for about 5 years.
Right, correct.
And sometime in September of 2000, the defendant was arrested. And you posted bail for her in the amount of $245.
Correct.
And you want her to pay back the bail money.
Right.
The defendant says she never asked you to post the bail for her. How were you contacted and advised that she had been arrested?
Well, like I said, off and on since '96, me and Miss Aguilar.
Just a second. Very slowly, and speak up, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. We had like a little relationship going at that time, and then she came to me with her problems, and she said she'd been in jail, and I said, I would like to know what's the problem was, and she was telling me that she'd been in jail, she hated it, she was there for a while. So then I said, well, okay, if you get in trouble like that again, you could just go ahead and just call me. I'll post bail for you, only if you pay me back. So,
Baloney! What kind of ridiculousness is that, Mr. Williams?
I never...
Just a second. Mr. Williams, if you're going to tell me the truth, you can't give me a baloney story.
Well,
according to the story you just gave me, you were in a relationship, she told you she had been in trouble before, she told you she had been in jail before, and you said to her, and she wasn't in jail at the time, you were sitting talking in your living room. If you ever get into trouble like that again, you call me and tell me, and I will post bail for you as long as you pay me back.
prior before that, yes.
Mr. Williams.
No, I'm sorry. I said I'll post, her bail. No, I'll bail her out of jail if she get in a problem like that again. Prior before that, her friend called me telling me that she was in jail.
Just a minute. Let's get the time she was arrested, Mr. Williams. She was arrested. Who called you?
Her friend Alexis.
What did her friend say to you?
Well, she told me that Jennifer was in jail and she wanted me to post bail for her.
For Jennifer?
Right.
And you said?
And I said, only if she paid me back. And she said, yes, she would pay me back. She would come to work the next day and give me the money. So I was like, okay, cool.
So you went and you posted bail?
Posted her bail. Right.
When was the next time you saw her?
Next time I seen her was in 2000. I think it was in July when she was pregnant with my baby. That's what she said.
So you didn't see her the next day?
No.
Or the day after that?
No.
Or the month after that?
No.
You didn't see her for 10 months, right?
No. The next time I seen her, I just heard that she was pregnant with my baby. So.
And how did that come about?
She was pregnant at this time, and like I said, we had an on and off relationship.
So the next time you saw her, you found out that she had just had a baby?
Right. And she don't let me see her or nothing like that.
Your Honor, that's
just a second.
lie.
All right, so now you want your bail money back.
Not just that, but I want visitation rights. I want to see, Zarnik. I only seen her just only 4 times throughout all of this.
All right, well, I'll get to that in a second.
2000.
Alexis asked him to post bail for you. What were you incarcerated for?
In September 2000, I had a domestic violence case, which then I had a warrant at the same time.
You were arrested for domestic violence and another warrant dropped on you?
Correct.
Domestic violence involving who?
My other partner, which is Alma.
Who?
It's another female.
Now, who is Alexis?
Well, Alexis is Alma. It's the same person.
So Alexis complained that you had assaulted her, and after you were taken away and arrested, Alexis called him and asked him to bail you out.
Apparently that's the way it happened. I didn't know that she was going to go look for him and tell him that I was in jail. I was in jail. I ended up getting posted out, which was
great. And then you never asked Alexis, how did your bail get posted?
No.
No, answer me honestly. Shh. Mr. Williams.
At that time, at the time that I got bailed, I was speaking to my mom on the phone and stuff to see if they could get me out. I was under the circumstances that I wasn't going to get out, so I thought I was going to stay in there until I seen the magistrate.
Miss Aguilar, I want you to pay careful attention to my question. When you get bailed out, you see Alexis. A natural question is, did you post the bail for me? That would be what a normal person would say. You're not an abnormal person, are you?
No.
So you would say, who posted the bail for me? And Alexis told you who posted the bail for you.
Yes, she did.
Of course. And what did she say?
She told me that she had gotten a hold of Dontriel and that he had offered to get me out of jail.
Okay. Fine. That's honest.
Yes.
Don't give me baloney about calling your mother and asking your mother and you don't know. That's an honest scenario of what happens.
Correct.
You get out, you say, who posted this bail? Who sprung me?
Correct.
Alexis said, he did.
Correct.
Now, you were pregnant when you went to jail?
At that time in September, I didn't know that I was pregnant.
I didn't ask you whether you didn't know. I asked you, were you pregnant at that time?
Yes, I was.
And you've had a child?
Yes, I have.
A boy or a girl?
A girl. She's 9 months now.
Now, there came a time, according to the papers that I read, that you contacted Mr. Williams and told him that it was his child.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Because I should have done it earlier, but at the time before I had her, I wasn't sure with myself if I was going to be able to raise her right, so I wasn't sure of keeping her.
So you decided not to tell him?
Exactly.
Now,
3 months after I had her, we met. I let him know that he can see her anytime. I've given him that opportunity.
No, that's not correct.
It worked. He's seen her a few times, and then supposedly his stepdad told him that it was all about the money, that the baby wasn't his or something. And so then at that time, he verbally gave up his rights to her. And then he asked for a blood test.
Verbally? How verbally did he give up his rights to her?
He didn't believe it was his, and he didn't want nothing to do with her.
No.
He asked
for a blood test. Right.
Okay. My partner and him went to the place to go get a blood test done. They couldn't get the baby her poke very well. She was still little, and it's hard to get pokes on babies. So they stopped it. They didn't pursue it. I then told him, if she comes back negative and she's not his, I'll pay for it.
Dontrell Williams says ex-girlfriend Jennifer Aguilar owes for an unpaid loan for bail.
All right, Mr. Williams, with regard to your lawsuit, you never had an agreement with the defendant to pay you back the money for bail. Your agreement, if there was any agreement, and I don't think there was with this Alexis person. In order for there to be a debt created, you have to have an arrangement with the person who you claim owes you the money. You had no agreement with her, so I can't give you your $245 back. If Alexis promised to pay you back the money, go after Alexis. And Alexis may then, I'm speaking, and Alexis may then go after the defendant. But you never had an agreement with her to pay you back. So that takes care of that. But I'm going to give you some advice now. If you are legitimately interested in pursuing a relationship as the father of this child, then what you do is you have to go to court and you file a petition to be legally declared the father of this child, and you ask for a blood test.
I was trying to do that, but she would never give me the opportunity.
She doesn't give you the opportunity, sir.
She never let me see the girl. So.
No, Mr. Williams, you're fighting me, sir. I'm telling you that in order to establish rights, your right under the law, you have to go to court and be legally declared the father of the child. You're fading off, sir.
Okay.
Pay attention to me. This is the most expensive advice you're going to get for free. Do you understand?
Yes.
You go to court. They will direct a blood test. You will have to pay for the blood test. She will be ordered to produce the child for the blood test. That will establish once and for all whether or not you are the father of this child.
Sorry.
Then they will decide what kind of either custody or visitation you should have, and they will fix a support order so that you can help support your daughter. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's what you have to do. That way you don't have to rely on her saying, well, today you can see her and tomorrow you can't. That way you have an order.
She moved by every 6 months, so I can never really catch up with her.
Well, you know where she is now, sir.
No, I don't.
Where are you now?
I'm in Greeley.
It's the same place he lives.
I got evicted because...
Where are you now?
18th Street.
So then I would very, very quickly, Mr. Williams, go to court. You serve her with the summons. You'll take your daughter for the blood test, correct?
I have no problem taking her.
Good. And then everybody will have their rights outlined. Do you understand, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Well, is that excused? You may step out.
You gotta watch who you trust.
I think it was fair.
I feel like I was taking advantage. She deceived me over the years, saying that, you know, this and that.
He knows I'm in another relationship and we will never work.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Luff versus Barker. Step forward, please.
27-year-old homemaker Jennifer Luff is suing her second cousin, truck driver David Barker, and his wife Margaret Barker for the return of her great-grandfather's trailer. The Barkers have a countersuit for storage fees.
Miss Luff, it is your claim that a trailer that is currently on the defendant's property belongs to you and you want it back.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendants say that if you can prove that the trailer is yours, they will return it to you, and then they are counterclaiming for $900 in storage fees that they feel is proper for storing this trailer if it belongs to you. Are you related to each other?
Yes.
How are you related?
David is my mother's cousin.
Oh, where did this trailer come from?
It was bought from my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and it was placed on the defendant's property because
It was bought for your great-grandfather?
Yes.
By whom?
By my son's father, my uncle, and my sister's ex-husband.
When did they purchase it for him?
I'm not sure.
When did it come onto your property?
99.
It was July of 1999.
How did it come to be on your property?
My grandfather had his own house in Lake County, and we talked him into, when my grandmother died, my cousin and everybody pitched in and bought the trailer so he could be closer to us.
When did he pass away?
In November of 1999.
What makes you think this trailer belongs to you?
Because I spoke with my uncle, who had part in buying it, my son's father, and my sister's ex-husband, and they gave it over to me. It's in, I have the title in my name. They gave it over to me.
Let me see it.
To sell it because my son's father gave me his share in it, and my uncle does not live here. So they gave it to me to sell, and I have to give them shares.
In whose name had the trailer been in?
The people who originally owned it, my sister's ex-husband had it.
4 people?
It had never been in their names, though. It was never switched over.
How did you register this?
I just took the title down there that they had signed.
Well, let me see.
I don't have that. I gave it to the tag office, and then I signed the title, and they sent that back to me.
Did you show this to the defendants?
No, I did not, because at the time I had only been given a receipt of change of title, and I showed that to the defendants when I tried to go get the travel trailer.
Okay, would you show this to the defendants, please?
Can I explain now pretty much?
No, just,
okay.
I want you to look at that. Okay. So this clearly is a deed to that trailer.
I guess so.
Okay. Now,
we
so
were
now
never
I'll let
showed
you,
that.
Now tell me.
Okay, pretty much what happened was, like she said, the trailer. We moved the trailer on our property of July of 1999. Grandpa passed away of November of 1999. The trailer was on our property for almost 2 years without anybody coming over and saying they want this trailer or anything. June of 2000, her boyfriend, it's the father of one of her children, borrowed my son's car, and he got into an accident with it. He smashed it up. He totaled out my son's car. I put a judgment against him, which I have papers that I was settled the judgment with him. Ever since then, we've been harassed for the trailer.
Go ahead.
When I sued her boyfriend, that was it. She was harassing us, making threats to us.
She wants the trailer.
Exactly.
So give her the trailer. She's a registered owner of the trailer.
But she never claimed it 2 years before that. That's what I'm saying.
That's not true.
So.
That may be. That may be. And I don't know what took her so long, quite
Can
frankly.
I explain why?
If you must.
What took so long is because about a month after my grandfather died, my cousin, David's son, came to me and said that he had nowhere to stay and could he stay in the trailer. That's the only reason it hasn't been moved in all this time, because he was staying there and paying them $75 a week. That's why I didn't think I owed them storage.
When was this title turned over to you?
The date?
Not until after...
Just a minute.
It didn't have anything to do with the accident.
In September of 2001.
Okay, which is when about a month after my sister moved in with me.
The date of issue, September of 2001. Prior to that, it was titled to some other relative.
No, it was titled to the original owners. Were not a relative.
They promised to put it in my grandfather's name.
No, we never promised
that. They never did. Yes,
we
they
never
did.
promised
Just
that.
a second. But it was titled to somebody else.
Right.
Nobody ever put their name in it. My sister's ex-husband just had an open title in his safe and had never changed the title over. So when he gave it to me, I changed it over right away. I put it in my name.
Drug addicts
Just a second. Did they have a bill of sale from the owner?
Yes, they did.
Where is it?
That's at home. I did not bring that.
Shady.
So whose name did you put on these documents that enabled them to give you this certificate of title?
They had already signed the title over to me. It was an old title. They had signed the back of the title.
Who had signed it?
The original owners.
No.
When did they sign it?
They signed it when it was first purchased.
I see. So they just signed it over to...
Yes, and nobody ever signed purchaser.
Oh, okay. Anybody could put their name on it. That's right. And they told you could put your name on it.
Yes, my
And title
brother-in-law, it was in his possession, and he gave it over to me.
Okay. Now, she has a certificate of title that on its face is valid.
Correct.
She is entitled to it. She did not become entitled to it until September of 2001 on the date the title was issued. Do you understand that? We're clear so far?
Yes.
Right.
After September of 2001, did you make any claim for storage of the trailer?
Yes, I did.
When?
I filed a countersuit on her, but it wasn't. It was on.
It was after they got my
It
suit.
was right.
No, I'm talking about before that.
No.
Before you got this lawsuit, the papers for this lawsuit served on you, did you ever say,
No,
look,
no, we
Yeah,
didn't.
we had
unless you
her-
get this trailer off my property?
Right. But I talked to her on September 3rd because she had been threatening my wife, telling other neighbors that she was going to take her glasses off and smack her. And she said that she was going to sell the trailer to some guy and take payments for $2,500. And I told her that I feel that everybody that put money in that trailer should get money out of it. I told her, I said, I know somebody would give $3,000 at least and give you cash. The next day, I went to work, and she comes there to take the trailer off the
It
property
was on Friday, September 5th.
with me not there.
At 5 p.m. That was her first and one and only attempt to try to retrieve the trailer off of our property. No warning. I've come to get my trailer. And I said, no, you're not. My daughter was a witness. My girlfriend was a witness saying
It's
that...
not necessary.
Right.
Look.
Well, just to say that I did tell her when she can make it convenient for everybody, you can come back and get the trailer.
This is just clearly an issue of title, and I must go based upon the title.
Right.
The title to this trailer
understand.
Right.
rests in her.
That's
Right.
fine.
She has to get it off your property.
Right.
She has 5 days to get it off your property.
Okay, well, I have pictures here to show that it's difficult just to yank this trailer off of our property. That was the other issue that occurred on September 5th, is because it's not that easy just to come in there, and we have to make an arrangement. You can't just come in there and hook up this trailer and go down the road with it.
No, so we're going to fix a date.
Okay, well,
What date do you want them to come and move the trailer?
Well, he's going back on the road to go back to work pretty soon.
You want to do it Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
All right, the court will draft an order indicating that on Friday at 12 noon, the trailer will be moved off the property. Understood?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
counterclaim is dismissed because there has to be an agreement for storage before there can be
Right,
storage
that's
fees, and
fine.
there was no agreement. Thank you, that's all.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. You may stay. Case number 589 on the calendar, the matter of Clymer versus Culp. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mrs. Clymer, is this your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to know who the players were. According to your complaint, the defendant, who is the current girlfriend of your soon-to-be ex-husband,
Yes, ma'am.
drove your car without permission when you weren't home one weekend and blew the engine on the car. You want her to replace the engine.
Yes.
There is a counterclaim by Ms. Culp for defamation. She says that you've been spreading nasty rumors about her. So, when were you and your husband married?
December 14th, 1999.
So it's a short-term marriage?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have no children together?
No, we do not.
Do you have any children of your own?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
28 and 25.
So they don't live with you?
No, they don't.
Mr. Clymer, does he have children?
Yes, he does.
Were they living with you at the time
Yes,
that
they
you
are.
were together?
Yes.
How old are they?
17 and 15.
When did this incident happen with the car?
Approximately on a Saturday. I left town.
What date?
I think it was around the 28th.
Of what month?
December.
Now, on December 28th, were you and your husband still living together
Yes,
as man
ma'am,
and wife?
we were. 2 days after Christmas. And then I left town to take my $2 back to Emmett and visit my mom.
Okay, so on the 27th, you had a discussion with him about divorcing. I assume that that didn't come as a shock to you.
Yes, it did, ma'am.
It did?
Yes, it did.
You didn't know anything was wrong?
No, I did not.
Did you ask him why?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
Because I didn't make him Rice Krispie bars. I didn't go to church. And just ridiculous comments why he wanted a divorce.
So you got in your car and you left?
Well, that following morning I left.
So you left on the 28th?
Yeah, I think it was Friday morning. Yeah.
When did you return home?
Sunday evening.
Okay, and according to your complaint, when you returned home, the defendant was there?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you known her before?
No, I do not. I don't even know who she is.
She's never laid eyes on me before today, Your Honor.
Should I get down to the...
No, I don't
Okay.
want to. You found her in your house?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And what did you do when you found her in your house?
I went to the police station and asked her if she would be removed from my premises.
And they said?
It was community property and...
Right,
it
and
was
he could have any guests that he wanted in the house.
That's right.
Now, when you were married in 1999, was this your house or was it your husband's house?
No, ma'am, we just bought this house a week prior to this incident.
Really?
Yes, we did.
And it's in both your names?
It's in his name, but the money that went in this house came from my house in Emmett that I sold.
How much money?
Around $9,000.
How much was the house?
$59,000.
Why didn't you have the house put in both names? I'm just curious.
They said, I even asked him at the time, I said, is my name going to be on the deed? And they said, well, it's community property estate, you are still reliable for this house. And I says, I want to know. I want my name on that deed too.
How old are you?
48.
The last house, the house that you sold, was that in your name?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Were you married at the time you had that house to someone else?
No. I bought that singly.
Okay, so you know about putting your name on a deed?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I even asked the realtor, I said, I would like to have my name on that deed. They said, it doesn't matter. You know?
Okay. All right. You're currently going through a divorce. Your husband is in the house?
No, I am in the house.
You're in the house now?
Yes.
So he had other place to go?
Yes, he did.
Fine. All right, now tell me about this car. You drove a car while you were there for that weekend.
Yes, I did.
Why?
The car belongs to Bob's daughter. I was driving the car because it needed to be serviced. Martha was out of town. Therefore, she couldn't drive the car. I left Athena the keys to my vehicle so she could go to work. She handed me her keys to her vehicle, which I in turn went to go pick him up from work to take the car to be serviced and then return it to Athena's work so that I could trade my car back. The car never made it past Kimberly Road, which is approximately 3 miles from the destination.
Okay. Mrs. Clymer, what kind of car is this? So I can...
It's a 95 Kia Sophia.
Was that your stepdaughter's car?
We give it to her to drive back and forth to work and also back and forth to school.
So it was a gift to your stepdaughter?
Yes.
Martha,
And
Your
you
Honor,
are-
does not even have a set of
just a
keys
sec.
to this car.
It was a gift to your stepdaughter. You can't sue her. It's a gift. You made a gift to your stepdaughter, you and your husband. That car belongs to your child, and I assume that if the car is going to be fixed, it's going to be fixed by him. So don't take out your anger on him against your stepdaughter. That's ridiculous. So get over that. Let's get to your counterclaim. Your counterclaim is that Mrs. Clymer is telling people around town that you broke up her marriage and you're a homewrecker.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's true.
I'm not sure.
Truth is a perfect defense. You know,
Honor,
you got to
their
wait
marriage was
until the
already-
body is cold.
Your Honor, their marriage was over before I even came into the picture.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
even
that.
know
That's what he
Robert
told you.
Clymer.
Listen
I
to
didn't
me.
even know Robert Clymer until
Listen.
October of this last year.
Listen to me. She was living there up until December 25th, right?
Yes.
He was living there up until December 25th, right?
Yes.
She goes away on December 28th, and you come over. That's 3 days. That doesn't mean the marriage is over. That means he may have told you that the marriage was over, but you knew you couldn't call the house. You didn't call the house there prior to that time, did you?
They don't have a home phone.
You didn't go over there to visit, did you, before
No.
that time?
I did come into town, yes. I
Okay,
knew
whether you went
the
into
whole
town,
family
he saw-
before
listen
I
to
even
me,
met him.
Listen to me. He would meet you elsewhere, and you still knew that he was living together with his wife.
Yes.
So this is a bit more interesting than not making Rice Krispie balls.
You're right.
Martha Clymer says her estranged husband's girlfriend, Renee Culp, drove her car without permission and blew up the engine.
All right. So truth is a perfect defense. And you probably did have something to do with the termination of the marriage. He found somebody else that made better Rice Krispies anyway. But that doesn't mean that she can't go around town telling people that you wrecked her home, because in her mind you did, and probably had something to do with it. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Give him back the car. Sign it over to him. Do you understand? Good. Goodbye.
Please excuse me. Step out.
She is hostile and upset by the fact that I am now seeing her husband.
Coming home and finding those two in bed, and, you know.
Can you prove that it was me? She never even saw my face before today, and her allegation of catching us in bed, she's wrong.
Stand up for your rights.
Be careful.
Don't listen to your ex-husband.
I just want it all over with.
And now the next case.
All parties on Dorr versus Dykstra. Step forward, please.
40-year-old homemaker Diane Dorr is suing her former landlord, 50-year-old engineer Richard Dykstra, for disposing of her personal property, the return of her security deposit, and emotional distress.
Ms. Dorr, the defendant was your landlord.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, he evicted you, and you want him to return your security deposit, which I think was $700.
Yes.
You claim that he disposed of property of yours, and you also were suing him for $500 for your stress. So let me get some facts. When did you commence a lease with Mr. Dykstra?
July of '99.
And what was your rent?
$650.
$650 a month?
Yeah.
Okay, and you agree with that, Mr. Dykstra, that you put down that security deposit?
I agree.
And when were you served with an eviction notice?
On April 4th, 2001.
Do you have a copy of that?
I sure do.
I'd like to see it, please.
He left it on the gate. I don't know that that matters, but I don't have a problem with moving out anyway. Pretty much lived through hell there.
One moment. So you gave a 30 days notice effective 4/4/01?
That's when I filed with the Sheriff's Department, and the Sheriff did not deliver this until the 9th of April, and I took that into account with the 30-day period.
So you were to be out of the apartment by May 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you out on or before May 9th?
Apparently, he says I wasn't. He went over there, and I would lie to you if I told you the date. I wasn't there because I was pregnant and not allowed to be out of bed. I begged the man.
What do you mean I'm not allowed to be out of bed?
I wasn't supposed to be out of bed.
Just a minute. So where were you?
I was at the new place.
So you moved out to a new place. When did you move out?
I started within 3 weeks of that notice after trying to beg him for a month extra. He would not give it to me. He wouldn't give me a reason. I said, fine, I'm just going to go. I can't handle this. Figured I'd clean the place, get everything out, right? I'm at the new place going back and forth to the hospital. I hired somebody to come in and clean it.
Okay, just 1 second. So let me understand this. You did, in fact, move out prior to May the 9th?
Yes.
Physically? You physically?
Physically. I left when he attacked me and my children. Not physically. I left because of that. Yes, I did. He cussed me out, and I left. I was afraid.
Good. So you left, and is what you're saying is that there was property of yours left after May 9th in the apartment?
No, I believe it was before that. After May 9th, I never went back. He locked the doors on May 9th, changed the locks.
Now, is the property that you're complaining of that was disposed of by the defendant property that was there at the time he changed the locks on May 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you're not entitled to that back, stuff that's considered abandoned. So we've just dealt with that. Now, you said you hired a cleaning crew.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You weren't at the house on May 9th?
Not. I might have been there once. I wasn't there when he came in and pushed them out and changed the lock. I was not there.
That was on May 9th?
Yeah.
On the date that you were supposed to be out?
Mm-hmm.
And you still had people cleaning in the apartment?
Yeah.
So he said what?
Your Honor, she paid for the month of April. Okay, so that was covered. That wasn't the problem. Starting May 1st, there was no rent being paid. I gave her to the 9th, actually to the 10th. And so I was losing $20 a day at this point.
He had $700 in deposit.
Just a second. Go. Speak.
So after I saw the progress her so-called cleaning crew was making, which was very, very slow, I have pictures here, Your Honor, and I'd like you to take a look at of the house.
Miss Dorr.
And,
Miss Dorr, listen to me very carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want to display erratic kind of behavior, do you?
Okay. No.
You are.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I have pictures of the house, and the cleaning crew was moving very, very slow.
You mean on May, do you have pictures of the house on May 9th or May 10th?
Yes.
I see them, please.
And rather than lose $20 a day and wait for these people to do what they were doing very slowly, I thought it was in the best interest of myself to just perform the cleaning myself. So I asked them to leave. I said, that's fine. It's a good enough job. Just go on your way.
Now, Mr. Dykstra, are these the 2 sofas that she claims that were left behind?
Yes, ma'am. Anything that was left in the house at that period, I moved out into the garage. I did change all the locks on the house, but I allowed them access to the garage until everything was taken out of that garage.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Did they take these 2 couches? They did?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
As you could see, if there was any cleaning done, it's not apparent in the pictures.
Maybe it was worse.
Could have been.
Didn't you ever clean the stove?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that those pictures came from the next door place. That wasn't my stove. I have papers where an inspector came in and says that everything was good in that house. She said I had the cleanest stove she had ever saw. It's documented here.
Oh, let me see that.
And
just a second. I'd like to see that.
Okay, I'm gonna send them with Bert. And a thing where I had the carpet cleaned in the year that I was there, year and 9 months. These are also pictures of what we were breathing and some of the stuff coming out of there that had damaged a lot of the walls and carpets. I lived there for a month without heat and continued to pay my rent because I don't want to be a bad person. You know what I mean? So I paid the rent, lived there while we breathed that. My kids were sick and going back and forth to the hospital breathing that stuff.
Well, you should have moved out sooner.
Well, we tried. I did the best I could, but I understand, and you're right, I should have. From what I could, he was on my property every day drinking. I'm an alcoholic, so it really had offended me when he did that. Before that, he was cutting the locks off.
Do you see me looking at you? Would you please point out to me where it says here, madam, that you had the cleanest stove the inspector had ever seen?
Well, she mentioned it.
Would you point that out to me? I'd like to see it.
I don't know if it's on
Well,
here,
just
maybe.
take a look. That's what you were giving me.
She didn't. She said it to me then. It wasn't written, but it doesn't say anything's ruined in there.
I asked you to answer my question.
Okay, it doesn't say it.
Okay. You want to show me, sir, a list of things that you claim that you spent money on to put this apartment back in condition to re-rent?
Yes, Your Honor. I have 2 separate ones here. The initial one is the one that I sent to the plaintiff. The second one you have there is one I just did the other day with the actual expenses. She had a young pup, and it made a mess of the carpet, and I thought it could be cleaned, but I had to replace it after that. So even prorating the carpet over 5 years, for her 2 years, I still come up with a lot more that she owed me than I owe her. The rest was just little incidentals, mini blinds. I'm talking $20 here. You can't find a mini blind for $20. I'm not gouging her on anything.
Look, I just want you to tell me, sir, how much you spent on somebody coming in and doing a general cleaning in the apartment.
I cleaned it myself. That's what it would have cost me to do something like that.
I just wanted to tell him about the blinds. When I had moved in, he told me I put a dog door in for the dog could go have access.
Yeah.
And we had cut them. That's where he's talking about the damage, so the dog would be above it. He said that was okay, don't worry, because once you'd lived there for a year, the blinds paid for themselves. Otherwise, I would have bought new ones and sat them in there.
Oh, I've seen places that look worse. Seen places that look better, but places that look worse as well. I want to get to your stress complaint, Ms. Dorr. I usually don't entertain that. I gather that you were living there for a while and that you complained several times about other neighbors, 2 other neighbors in particular, according to the defendant. One neighbor you said was selling drugs, and you evicted that person. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
And then the plaintiff had somebody that she thought would be a good tenant, somebody that was going to do some babysitting for her.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you rented to that person.
Yes, I did. They were good tenants.
And what happened to that tenant?
They babysat for the county, and that was their major portion of their income. And after they quit watching the plaintiff's child for free, they thought they was being taken advantage of. She responded by calling the Child Protective Services and filed a complaint that said her son had been sexually abused by their son. So therefore they lost their license, they lost their income, and they had to move.
Is there any reason other than those 2 instances why you decided to evict the plaintiff?
After 2 tenants and initially not knowing who to believe, Diane is very good at she's very convincing.
Not to me.
Okay. Well, I had a hard time at first, so I didn't know who to believe, the other tenant or her. And so I gave her the benefit of the doubt at the first time. But on the second instance, after that, it was obvious who was telling the lies here. And it cost me a couple months' rent there, plus fixing up the other places. And then when I evicted Diane. It cost me a month's rent there, and I had to fix that place up. Pretty soon you have to look out for your own well-being.
Okay. Tell me about your stress, Miss Dorr.
I'm not even going to bother because obviously you believe him. He had those places rented the day we were out of there.
Good.
All of them were, so.
Oh, that's great.
But I have copies of police reports, and I didn't call Children's Services. The school did. My son reported it to the school what had happened. And I don't know if I'd call it sexual abuse. It was the little boy on top of him. And if my son needs to tell the school that, I'm not going to tell him to be quiet.
Okay. Well, Mr. Dykstra, let me tell you this, sir. When the tenant moves out, things are never really perfect. You certainly are entitled to cleanup fees. I don't care who did it, whether you did it or whether someone else performed the service of cleaning up this mess, and there was a mess. And if you had a crew in to clean it up, they would have charged you at least $250 to clean it up, because that's more than one day's work for one person. It's more like one day's work for 3 people. Now, right now, $513 is the amount that I have that's deducting what she owed you for May's rent.
That's correct.
Or she chose not to be out by the 1st of May. If you were out the 1st of May, then you wouldn't have to pay any part of May's rent. And I'm also going to deduct from that $250 for the mess that you left behind, leaving $263. And I believe that you should give that back to her from her security deposit, and that's what I'm ordering. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $263. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may